Hello everybody, my name is Steve, and welcome back to another video. Okay, I'm not gonna make this long, I'm trying to keep it toned down, mostly because I don't have the storage to make the video as long as I want it to be, but that's different money for a different time. Anyways, yo, it literally be our own people against us. There are already students saying, yeah, they should be banned. Our own people against us. Like we get logistics and reasons why, they're convenient and helpful. But wow, that's insane. Our own people are really against us. Like, bruh, you do realize this is a certain independency that no other generation has ever had. Like this independency where you can text on the go, call on the go, pretty much do anything on the go. It's something that a previous generation could never do. Think about that real quick. But they're distractions. Really? Nice use of distractions. Like, yeah, they're distracting, but they're not distractions. Okay? Don't get me wrong. Distractions and distracting are two different things. We're not gonna try to make that. We can make that video a different time. But yeah, it's 30 people against us, bro. Now it's up to the states. It's already been approved. Now the states have to accept it, and if they do, this will be a full-time thing for all schools. Just listen to the effects that this could have.
Right. The bill prohibits the use of a wireless communication device during instruction time. So that could be a phone, a tablet, a game, a smartwatch, or even a laptop.
Declare it passed without objection.
30-0. The bill to ban cell phones and other communication devices in the classroom passed overwhelmingly in Tennessee Thursday.
This bill aims to minimize classroom distractions and internet bullying on our school campuses.
The bill supported on both sides of the aisle. Memphis lawmakers showing their support before the vote.
I think this goes a long way to make sure the kids are focusing in school. I cannot see what sort of benefit it would be for a child to text or be on the internet during class.
But parents in Memphis are on the fence.
You got the pros and cons. The pros is the kids can focus more on the work, but the cons would be if the parents need to get in contact with the kids, there would be no quick way to get in contact with your child.
The main concern, emergencies.
Can be inconvenient because if something happens in the middle of the day and they can't get to somebody to help them, then it's more of a hazard than a help.
According to the bill, a teacher can allow a student to use those devices for educational purposes and in the event of an emergency. It requires local school boards to make a policy prohibiting the device.
But how can we use it in case of emergency when we won't have it? See how this doesn't make sense? Like there's going to be some ripple effects. I mean, they might not be like very noticeable, but there's definitely going to be some very odd ripple effects to this. Because, like, we say, yeah, they'll be useful in case of emergency, but then you forget, no one's gonna have them in case of emergency. So, like, what do you do? See how this doesn't make sense?
And the consequences for not following the policy. Systems like IOTA Community Charter Schools already have similar policies in place. Kirby Middle School students lock their phones away at the beginning of the school day and get them back at the end. Chief Operating Officer for the school system says...
And then you have to also have to ask yourself, what do you do on days when there's, like, nothing to do? Right? You're in school, there's going to be a certain day where it's, like, kind of an odd day where your classes are, like, spread out differently, and you're like you're under a new schedule, and you're going to different areas that you don't normally go to, right? Think about that. What do you do on odd days when the time is early and you're leaving early? Like, what do you do on the days where there's nothing to do? Because the schedule is odd. What do we do?
I just cashed out $6,400 from the bank because of this program that a lot of people don't know about, and I'm here to help you.
As LIUSD students prepare to head to school this week.
Also, like, say goodbye to your independency, bro. I already said goodbye to my independency way before this man was ever talked about. I was like, okay, as soon as I was heard that was gonna be a thing, I was like, yep, goodbye to my independency. It was great while I had it, but goodbye to my independency, bro. Goodbye.
Morning, they will be facing a new policy on campus. The district is imposing a ban on the use of cell phones during school hours. KTLA's Carlos Herrera live in Koreatown with more on that. Carlos, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Good morning. Officially a new era for the LIUSD. Starting this morning, students who bring their cell phones to campus will not only have to turn them off, but also store them during all school hours. And yes, that includes lunch, or they will face several consequences. Now, we know the district has been working on this for quite some time now, and that we know that it's not going to be an easy task for the district, especially because teens can be really attached to their phones, but the district ready to take on this challenge to make students part with their devices. Today is a deadline for all schools to adopt the cell phone ban policy. You may remember it was approved by the board last June in an effort to improve student engagement, limit the use of social media during school hours, and ultimately, they say, to reduce bullying.
Absolutely follows the medical research that currently exists that ties the use of social media through mobile devices to the mental health crisis exhibited by our kids.
Phones are definitely a weapon at school. It's actually working on the opposite end. It's not keeping kids safe. It's putting them in very vulnerable positions, and the cyberbullying.
Whoa, Miss, ma'am, did she say weapon? Okay. Sure, people just be saying things. If people were so strongly, like, seeing people so strongly get their feelings hurt over a text message or over whatever the heck, like, picture or message that someone sent to them, that just means they're sensitive. Yeah, there's gotta be a little sensitive, but that doesn't mean that this is a weapon. Like, bro, I've had people tell me you should die or kill yourself and a lot of different things and messages and stuff. You know what I do? Ignore it. I ignore it. Like I don't pay attention to what people say in messages. If anything, bro, I'm busy watching movies and looking at videos. Like, I don't care what someone's saying. Like, if you're sensitive, hey, just block them and ignore it. Because you obviously know you're gonna get frustrated by it. And I know this can be used in some levels of bullying, but again, it really just depends on the person. It just really depends on how sensitive someone actually is to this kind of thing. Like, we don't have a good tolerance to this. Yeah, I can totally understand how this would hurt them. But if you're a tolerable person to this kind of thing, this probably won't affect you, like, at all.
Is really detrimental to their health.
Students to keep cell phones and smart devices with them or in their backpacks and trusting that they won't use them during school hours. Others are taking a different and more strict approach. They're either locking them up, placing them in classroom holders, or guarded pouches that magnetically seal the phone during the day. The phone, though, is in the possession of the student, but inside that pouch, students caught using those cell phones at school could lose their devices and face other disciplinary action, with the exception, of course, of students who need their phones for translation purposes or learning possibility. Now, again, today is a deadline for all campuses to...
Oh, but translation purposes, but then how are we going to be able to translate with certain people that speak different languages if we don't have set to be said cell phone to translate what someone's saying? You see how stupid it sounds? Like, this is how you know this whole ban thing was not really, like, thought about and just was rushed, and now it makes no fucking sense at all. I'm just gonna get one more video in.
621. Big changes are on the way to Montgomery County Public Schools. The County Education Association just approved a new cell phone policy for students. It would ban phones for elementary and middle schoolers. High school students can still use their phones at lunch and between classes. The association is calling on the district to universally adopt this policy by 2027.
Right. That's a short video. Hey, I think...
Listen up.
You know, like, they have, like, unique videos, but most of them are just, like, really short. Where's that one that was, like... right here.
Bill aimed at reducing distractions in class by banning cell phones has passed the Tennessee Senate and now heads to Governor Bill Lee's desk for his signature. Eric Pointer joins us live in downtown with more on this. So Eric,
So this bill would require school districts to come up with their own cell phone ban policy. Now the bill leaves a lot of the details up to the school districts, including whether a student is allowed to have their phone on their person, just on silent or zipped up in their backpack. Districts would also determine the punishment structure, and it also includes other forms of technology like a laptop, tablet, or a watch for those to be banned from the classroom as well. Now there are exceptions, like if a student is an English learner or if they have a medical or developmental condition. Now if it is signed into the law, the bill does allow for the students to use their phones in the event of an emergency, but the representative who wrote this bill says that responsibility during a crisis of that communication falls on the schools, not the students themselves. Send it back to the studio.
Once again, this makes no sense.